Hello guys, welcome back to my channel today. My name is Jack, or Jackawala, and today we are doing something quite big. I haven't, so far on the channel, I've not done a massive sort of house, sort of mansion build. So this is the first time that I'm doing this. This means this is going to be quite a long video. It is going to be 30 minutes long, so stick around, enjoy the ride. It's quite a cool house, so the concept behind this one is that it's going to be part of my Cottage collection, but it's going to be a modern take on the Cottage collection. So as you can see, as I'm building this, you'll notice the other cottages around it. So it is going to be fitting in, but it's also going to be standing out. It's going to be a little bit different. It's going to try and keep that same theme. It's going to be really fun, really interesting, and we're going to really jump into it today. I do struggle a lot with roofs on this, and I do struggle a lot with interiors on this. Just trying to get that right shape, because I usually use like a Google image search to really try and sort of pinpoint, get design ideas, make it all really interesting. So I think I have used one for this. I actually can't remember. I actually built this house about a week ago, so it is me trying to remember what I've actually done, which is fun and interesting. But I have used a reference image. Yes, I remember now. I used a reference image for part of it, but not all of it. So a lot of it is just kind of making it up as I go, trying to make it really interesting, and trying to make it really different. So a lot of the roofing types, for people that don't know, if you actually hold down the shift key whilst you're trying to get the little overhang off a roof, you actually only do that overhang off one side, which is I only found it out a few weeks ago. I was watching a little Simsy video and I found it out, and I was like, oh my gosh, all the years of having disgusting roofs because you've had to make them too short or too long, and then I found out you can actually do that. Groundbreaking, I'm telling you. It's one of those things that I say this again and again. It adds just a little bit of extra interesting texture to it. You want, and like that uniqueness to it. It makes it look a little bit more professional. Like it's just those tiny things, and they really do help. But I'm also going to talk about, I haven't done it in this build, but the kits that have come out. Now, I will be doing like a proper video on the kits. I've just got to film it, work out what I'm actually going to do. But from what I've played so far, what I've seen so far, the dust kit is actually the one that's most worth the money. It brings a lot more gameplay elements, moodlets and traits, as well as a few items, and it's just more interesting for me personally. Like the other two kits, they're okay, but they're not that great. They're just like they could have all been bundled into one, and it would have been really cool like that. But hey ho, end of the day, that's what we got. And as you see here, jump back to the house now. It does match the other buildings style wise, but when you get down to the gist of it, you can tell someone's moved in and they've modernized it. That's the feel behind this. I haven't yet designed the family for this, but they're going to feel out of place in the neighborhood, but they're going to make the house fit in and also look out of place, if you know what I mean. It's got the kind of the juxtaposition of the modern aesthetic, but the old style, if that makes sense. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think a lot of the inside of this house is going to be very modern, and there's a lot of rooms in it, so it's going to be a large house. I think it ends up being 1, 2, 3, 5 bedrooms. And there's some weird things going on, like for example, there's a toddler room that actually comes off the parents' room as like a nursery style, so it's right next to the parents' like master bedroom. And yeah, so I do a lot of landscaping with this one. It's one of those things, like I feel like if you've got a really blank wall or something that looks a bit flat, a bit bland, a bit boring, if you really add on like ivy on the wall, for example, for me personally, I think this really brings a lot of character. It makes it really fun, really interesting. And as you can see here, I try it with the platform, just make it interesting. But the strange thing is you get to screenshots and then platforms act as a separate room, and it's very strange and nothing works. And you'll see what I mean. If I can't remember if I show it in the screenshots, but it is is something very different. I think what we need more of is windows, and I know there are a lot of windows in the game by the time you get all the expansion packs and everything, but there's always, like, you know, when you want a certain window and they just don't do it or it's not quite big enough, or it's not quite wide enough, or it's just not the right swatch. I think that's the most annoying thing, is you have not enough swatches for windows. Like, some of them I've noticed don't have a black swatch, and some of them don't have like a dark brown swatch, and it's very annoying when you're trying to mix and match windows to try and do it. Like, you have to use almost like one window set, and I never use white windows. You'll notice this in a lot of my builds. I hate white windows. I just don't think they look that good. So, and I think they look a bit like 2000s, late 90s, they look a bit cheap, and then like the black and the grey makes it look quite classy. But yeah, anyway, front of the house, you can see I've now with all the foliage, I've got a nice pathway in. I use the rocks to outline it with nice flower beds, and again, it gives the front character. It also helps it fit in with the neighbourhood, like the whole neighbourhood. Everyone's got a nice front garden with lots of plants, lots of bushes, quite overgrown. That stone fence, so I've used a stone fence as well to show that it is still part of the community, and the hedge at the back, like the other houses, to show it is still part of the community. You are in the same place. You can just tell someone's redone it and they've gone, oh wow, that's something nice, that's something different, that's something very interesting. Moving on with the house, so now the house is out of shell, the front are done, I'm now working on the backyard. And in the backyard I thought, let's have a greenhouse, but let's make it match a little bit. Let's keep the stylizing. So there is another house along the street that actually has this circle roof. If you don't know which one I mean, you should probably go back and watch my videos and find out. But I will also pop a little link here, just there, and then you will know what I'm talking about. And as you can see, like, I've made this one the block height a little bit higher, so you can fit. I don't know if you can fit trees in. You can try, but I just have a lot of planters. And then I do the same thing with swimming pool. And I actually thought what would be really cool is I mirrored the shape of the swimming pool to the shape of the greenhouse. And then I'm messing about trying to get I saw this in a screenshot I saw on Twitter. Someone had done, I don't know, a lot of people actually do this. I just don't. I never really think about it when I'm doing it. But having the hot tub as part of the pool, like, it's like an extension, because like you always see it in like there used to be this fitness center when I was growing up near my house, near my grandparents' house, and they had a big swimming pool inside, and on the corner of it there was a hot tub, and obviously the hot tub's water flowed off into the pool, and it was really cool, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And I think it's quite a common thing. Like, I don't know if many people know about it, or if I'm just being really stupid about this, but I thought, you know, it would be really cool if I incorporate this into this pool. Keep this black and white theme, keep it very modern but homely, and I think it worked quite well in the end. I was really happy with it, and yeah, anyway, moving on inside. So this is obviously the main portion of the video. I'm sure you've all been looking forward to this. You're bored of seeing the outside and me talk about why it looks like that. The only thing I don't like about this whole platform feature is that sometimes when you fill in the wall, you'll notice the whole platform moves up, and if anyone knows why and can tell me why and how to stop it from happening, that'd be amazing, because it's really, really frustrating. Really frustrating, because you end up having to, you do it and then you go, oh, move the floor down, and then back up, and then again, and you do it like 3 or 4 times until you just feel like giving up. And it is frustrating, but I've got a few rooms down here, and I think down here we end up having the living room, kitchen, dining room. I think there's like a little artist nook I put off the side of the living room, and I think I have a laundry room and a bathroom down here as well. And then there's this one room, and you'll see this later on. I had no idea what to do with it, not a single clue. It was just such an awkward room. I should have planned it beforehand, and I didn't. I ended up making it into sort of like a studio space. So I put a big counter in the middle. I have a mirror on one side, loads of makeup products, and I think I have a video editing station as well. So the idea was I thought, this can be like an influencer room. This could be like my dream room to be an influencer. So this is a brilliant house if you're going to have an influencer. I think it's going to be really big, really fantastic. And then up here you can see I'm just getting the layout down. I make a lot of changes. When I was making this, I had one idea in my head and then I ended up doing a different idea. Well, I actually came to decorating. Like the layouts stay the same, but I just messed up decorating a bit. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to roll with it because that's what I like. A little bit of spontaneity. And then, I don't know, but sometimes when you try to put floors back down, it doesn't really work and you have to use this tool and it really frustrates me. Really makes me angry that everything's just not simple. Like, you see what I had to do here? I had to fill in every single room separately just to make it work. And I've got a big open landing area. So this landing is going to be a fence as you look down into the dining room. Oh yeah, that's it. The nook, the little arse nook is actually off the dining room, I believe. And the living room is on the other side. I can't actually remember, so we're going to find out. Like I say, I did this a little while ago. I like doing this because I surprise myself and I look back at things. But I think the best bit is you can look back at things and think, what would I change now? What can I change this time? How can I improve this? And then I do this a lot, and I say this in all my other videos. I like to use these poles, these pillars even, like they're so good. They're the really thin ones that come with the get together pack. I think they might be my favourite item in the game. I don't understand why they came so late. Like I remember when I was first building and I wanted to use pillars and they were all these chunky round and chunky square and too intricate, and I was like, no, it's like minimal, it's like very simple, it's like very interesting. So I'm glad they finally made it into the game. It's made my life, oh gosh, so much easier. And it's finding a fence is very difficult. You know what fences I don't like in this game? I've not found one that I like as much as I like this plain and simple one. I know it's really boring, but it goes with everything, especially like modern day houses. Like all the other ones are too intricate and too much going on. They just don't, for me, they just don't really work. You'll find that I'll hardly ever use anything like that. And when I do, it's going to be very different. It's going to be a themed house. It's going to be using a lot of themed objects I don't normally use. Like I tend to use a more modern aesthetic, more interesting, I like to say interesting things. Like I'm not a big fan of all the old, strange, cheap looking stuff. Like I like the sleek, modern aesthetic to it all. So this is now the kitchen. I love my islands. I try and make the kitchens big enough to fit an island in. I always find that kitchens are so big and your Sims never use the space. If you know what I mean, they never really properly use it. And same the living room. Like I feel like when the game first came out, they always used living rooms and they always used kitchens. And then as the game's like evolved and got more stuff in it, they just never do. They always end up being in those random spots doing those random things. But hey ho, I mean, if they had story progression, it'd be great. You know what I mean? I think The Sims, what it lacks now is this, for the gameplay aspect, is having Sims that their free will is so good that they can do more stuff than they do now. Like their free will at the moment is like, oh, I'm going to do this. And then they go, oh, I'm going to do this again, and do this again. And they don't really do anything. And especially with the Sims you don't play, so like the community, I think it's lacking in the whole them building families, progressing their own stories, the random deaths, blah blah this. You know what I mean? Like The Sims 3 had it on point, and I think ever since they've taken that away and replaced it with emotions are okay, but they could be better. They could. It's as simple as you get the uncomfortable trait, and all of a sudden you can't do anything because they're uncomfortable. And then you get rid of that uncomfortable trait and they can do something for 2 hours and then they're uncomfortable again because they got stung by bees, or they got too hot, or they got too cold, or the house now got too dusty. it is interesting, like I do like it, but I think the uncomfortable trait is too overpowering in the greater scheme of things. But anyway, moving on, dining room. So this is gonna be a dining room slash bar area. So this is almost like the entertainment room as well. It's finding, I don't like any of the bar counters, I'll be honest, that's why I don't use them. I think I like one or two, and that's just what I go with, you know. But it's just a bit strange, isn't it? I just don't like them. But that chandelier, my favourite light in the whole game. If I could use it in every room, I would. But then you'd be walking through lights and you get electrocuted, and that's not good. That is not good at all. A lot of this is just kind of experiment as well. So I've stacked these on top of each other to make it look like you got a nice tall shelf in the corner. And this is going to be your entrance room. So you're going to have, I think in that room you're going to have like your little umbrella stand, and you got your little shoe stand and everything. And as you can see here, this is what I mean. This is going to be the little artist nook, which I'll design in just a second. I think on this house, I don't know if I do the wallpaper last. No, I go through mix and match. You'll see. You'll see. But here we go. I like my plants. For those of you who don't know me very well, I love plants. Plants are my favourite thing. I will litter a house in plants if I could. I just wish there was more. So for kits, for example, if they do a house plant kit, I'm going to be the happiest man alive. As long as they're good, because sometimes they bring in plants and they're not that good. But for the most part, all of the plants they brought in through expansion packs have been, they've been incredible, haven't they? Like, take a look at the paranormal plant, for example, the little hanging one. Absolutely love it. My favourite plant. It's just so nice, and it's just nice to have something like that. Do you know what I mean? It's just interesting, it's fun, it's cute. And then here, like, see, houseplant crazy. So I've got my little bit with plants. I've got a nice little artsy sort of style sofa from Paranormal Pack. I think it's an amazing sofa. That's just the base swatch, I think. My favourite swatch of all of them. It's just so nice. And then nice blue rug, nice big bookcase. There's your easel. And then I put in a few little books behind there, so you can. Those are going to be your sketchbooks, if you know what I mean. So that's me, your books. Got some canvas paintings. I scale that down so you got some like small canvases, and I thought that's actually quite a cute idea, and it kind of makes it fit in a bit better. I popped some art on the wall as well, a nice big ship painting, inspirational. It's almost like a study without the study aspect to it. Do you know what I mean? And then I get this nice wallpaper. I think I go for blue in the end. Yeah, the blue one. I thought bring in the character, make it vibrant, make it what's that say, brilliant then? I suppose we'll go with that. Make it brilliant. And this wallpaper is from the Eco Lifestyle Pack, and I don't know, it vibes with me and it works really nicely. There's one in the mist settings of wallpaper, and you get like grey, blue, black, and we use the black and white ones I use on outside my build so much. It's crazy. Now the living room goes through a few different phases. Like as you can see here, I was like, oh, what if I make the whole wall a big TV? And I was like, no. What if I make it on this wall? And I was like, no. What if I go for this TV over here in the corner? And then I will move it. I I don't like it there in the end. I thought it was cool, and then I was making it, I was going, now I've got so much empty space around everything. It doesn't really work. And I tried this, and I was like, oh no, you can't walk around. So I ended up moving it into the middle of the room. And in the middle of the room, and then I was like, yep, brilliant, perfect, suits it, works. And in this one, you've got your fireplace corner. And I always think this is nice to be a little reading nook. I call it a little reading nook. I think it's more fun, more interesting, and just makes it a bit homely, doesn't it? It brings that element of the home. It brings that element of the cottage back in. So you're not losing the cottage completely from this build. It is still predominantly there. It's just hiding. It's just blending in. It's just adding a little bit extra in. And I think with these paintings on the wall, they look really good when they're off center a little bit, because they're quite top heavy, or right side heavy even. It's a bit interesting. Now this, gonna sound strange, is my favourite bit of the house. This little tiny corner here with the little box and the stuff that you put on it, just to give it a little bit of character. And I think I put a little lantern on it, and I just think it looks so cute. no idea why I love it so much. I just do. Little painting up there and a little cactus, and I just think, you know what? That looks so nice and so lived in. It's a little bit of clutter, but not too much clutter, because I don't like too much clutter. I think when there's too much clutter, it's a bit garish. Or a bit just, it frustrates me. Like my life is really tidy. I mean, I would show you my room right now, but it's not tidy. It was an hour ago, and then the mail came, and then it's not tidy anymore. But yeah, so there you go. So you got the living room done, dining room, the kitchen, and then this is the room that I was struggling with. So this is the room that I have no idea what to do. I'm just going to put a counter in the middle, and it's going to evolve from that. And that's literally how I designed this room. I had no ideas for it. I was like, it's kind of industrial. It's got a big open door at the back. It's got that light space. Let's just chuck a few items down and see what comes of it. So I was like, oh, it could be a gaming room. I was like, no. It could be a fish room. I was like, no. And so I come back to this later. I leave it for a little bit, and I go do the washing room, and I come back, and I'm back and forth, finding these items, decorating the other rooms, and I was like, you know what? Let's get on with it. So I come back to it. So you got a mood board on the side. You got some books. I was like, okay, I can kind of see where this is going now. You got a file and things like that. You got all your makeup kit, and I was like, okay, this is where I was like, yes, mirror, mirror, mirror. So I've used this mirror, which I think is really cute. It reminds me of like an actor's room. What do you call them? Dressing room. Dressing room. So it's kind of that sort of vibe to it. You got a plant in the middle there. You got your fish still here. For the kids that are going to be in the house, you've got your little scouting board, which I thought was really nice. Sort of brings the family together when they're creating stuff and they're doing stuff. And then yeah, so there you go. You got your video station, flooring down, done. And I was like, yeah, bang. I like this. I like this a lot. So then the laundry room. I always think it's nice to have a laundry room. It's just somewhere to keep your dirty clothes away and your clean clothes all ready. They all come out. A lot of clutter in this one. I thought, you know what, it's kind of almost like a storage place as well. You've got lots of shelving, lots of things. You've got a downstairs bathroom. And I think, well, as far as bathrooms go, this is probably one of my favourite ones I've done. It's definitely my favourite in this house. I think it's kind of, it's plants, that's why. It's plants. You've got the nice rug, you've got a double sink, a nice shower, little massagey towels, oils, all that sort of thing. Bring some character into it, and then I keep it dark. I like a bathroom when it's dark, and it's got lots of dark greys and lots of blacks. I think white is tacky. Colourful is very old-fashioned. I mean, it would have been nice, I guess, in the aspect of a cottage, but this is a done-up cottage. This is a modern-day cottage. So you've got your little seat under the stairs. I think that's really cute. Little pile of rocks. There's a lot of quirky little things throughout the house, which would you be like, why is that there? Sort of thing. And that's the vibe I've got on. It's just a little bit all over the place, a little bit strange, a little bit different. And then up here, we're done with the downstairs now. Downstairs completely done. And we're moving on to the upstairs. So I've got a lot of rooms in here. For the bedrooms, I go for different colour themes. Make it a little bit cooler, a little bit interesting. So this is the first bedroom, this is the master bedroom. There's no en-suites in this one. The way the house laid out, I couldn't really work it. This is the mistake I made here, was making the toddler room off this room. I should have been in my head, it was originally the bathroom, and when I was doing it, I was just so in the zone of making bedrooms, I forgot. I just didn't know where the door was, and I was like, I don't want to move the whole room now. So that's what we ended up with. We got this blue room as the master bedroom. This is the yellow room. In my head, this is for the elder couple. So this is a family where you got the elderly couple, got the mum and the dad, and you got, I think, a teenager, a child, and a toddler. So it's a big full household. Very interesting. So you can see the way this has gone. It's kind of like an autumn themed room. Very yellow. You got your cat, you got your stencils, your plants. And I just thought, you know what, this is actually quite nice. I quite like this. This is it's a quiet, it's a peaceful space. And this is what I mean, like, this is the nursery. I love it, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love it. It's such a cute little room, lots of little stuff in there. it wasn't until I finished it did I realise, I was like, oh, I've done this in the wrong room. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to keep it. I really like it. I can't change it now. And I just thought, that's what we're getting. This is the toddler little room. And then this is the child's room, I think. Child or the teenager. It's the child and the teenager rooms that I build can be either or. It depends on what they're like, I guess. Like, they're not too childish and they're not too teenagery. I think there's desks in both of them, for example. You could swap things out, you can change it. This is a very black and white room. I think the idea of this person was going to be, I think it is a child. Yeah, this one is a child's room. Then you've got the gaming, the TV was there for like a kind of idea of the gaming. And then this is the teenager room, a little bit more colourful. You can't kind of tell by the posters. I got a few posters on here. I thought, you know what, let's litter this wall and posters. Let's make them a bit of a, like, you know how I didn't know about you, when I was a teenager, I had National Geographic magazines cut up and stuck all over my wall. I absolutely loved it. So that's where this one goes. And then you've got the big book, little bookcase. You've got your little science centre. I don't actually know if teenagers can use that. We'll find out. It's there for the looks. And a big sofa. I know a lot of people have sofas in the bedrooms when they're growing up. I think it's quite a cool thing, especially if you have your friends over. You can all sit on the sofa in the bed, and you'll all be together in the same room, whilst the rest of the family is off doing their own thing downstairs. Simple bathroom, just a little bit of everything in there. There's no window in that one because that was the whole thing. I didn't want everyone to change everything. And I think I make this little rectangular room over here. That's also going to be a bathroom. Originally didn't want it to be, but again, the way the house ended up playing out is just how it had to go, I'm afraid. I don't think I even put a mirror in the sink. I just thought that is a very sort of plain bedroom for everyone to live in. And then I think up here, it's just, I put another little seating area. There's another little cozy nook, I call them. I just think it looks very interesting, very cute. It's just somewhere else for the family to sit, so don't have to be on top of each other at once, because obviously that is going to happen. And then, like I said before, I never do walls first or in any order. So this one, I do all the walls on the floor and last. But I'd love to know what you guys think of this house. It's a very big house. Took me 2 hours to do in total. So it was a long build. A lot to talk about. A lot was going on in this one. But I am going to start doing a Let's Play series soon. I've just got to design the characters, get the story set in place. I think we're going to be doing a rags to riches. So that is going to be really interesting and really fun. I think it's going to focus around dust, if anything. So it's going to be a very different video, well, different series. Like, the whole idea is that you're only going to be making money through dust. And I know that might sound really weird, but I have play tested this a little bit. And it does work. Like, I had a playthrough where I befriended one and he gave me a money fruit. Planted the money fruit, harvested 20 grand from it. So it's a very unique, very interesting way. Very fun, and that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be trying building. The idea behind it is build the biggest house out of dust money. That's it. You're not allowed anything else. The only thing you're allowed to do is you can start with no money at all. And you're going to end up building a massive house from nothing. But the only time you're allowed to sell other things to get money is when you don't have a house, because obviously you can't get dust unless you actually have a room. And I've also found the smaller the house or smaller the room, the more the dust builds up. So that's going to be interesting. And a little funny thing here is, if you don't hoover your house, it goes up in flames. So there's that. That should be fun, and we'll find out. So anyway, there you go. Here's some screenshots. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. If you've made it all the way through, I think you're going to be my favourite people ever, because this is a very long video. I just want to say thank you so much to all of you today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. I can't believe it, to be honest. And I just want to say thank you guys, and I will see you again soon. There's going to be plenty more videos where this one's coming from. So keep your eyes peeled, and there'll be a Let's Play series soon. So thank you very much, guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.